Hello and welcome back to the ministry. And today I got a special word for you. This is for my Ruth Boaz people. Are you, Ruth, plowing in the wrong field? And it's so funny. I am seeing the prophetic encouragement space, because she did release something in relation to something like this a while ago. And today, the Lord showed me something. I'm going to tell you what the Lord showed me. I've been doing a project. I got a couple different projects that the Lord has kind of put my hands to in this season. And I've been pushing them out and putting my hands to them. And I've just been trying to make sure, okay, Lord, you gave me this. What do you want me to do? Okay, I'm seeing a potential opportunity to promote it this way. What do you want me to do? Okay, I'm seeing this thing. And what do you want me to do? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I'm doing the things, put my hands to the things. I got the idea. I see the vision as to what I'm supposed to do with it. Okay, I recorded it. I got it done. Boom, 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 boom. But at the same time, I was kind of in this headspace where I was like, but what is it that I'm doing it for? The thing has kept me in this season is I've been kind of feeling like am I doing a bunch of busy work to be showing that I'm doing something, or am I doing something productive in the direction that I'm supposed to be going in? Which brings me to this word, okay? Are you in the wrong field? I've heard ministers say this. Sometimes you have a field of favor in which you're supposed to be in, but you could find yourself, because of the level of resistance to that thing coming together in the season that you were working on it in, you kind of have a tendency to feel like, maybe I shouldn't be here, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I know that I'm called to something very aligned with what my God-ordained spouse is doing. I know that. I've had it prophesied over me. I've been given projects. I worked on certain things. I developed things. Things just came to me in relation to that. I've even had dreams about it. But the things that I've been putting my hands to, it's not that it's not aligned or can be very well aligned for what it is that I'm doing. It's just that it's not the thing. You ever been working on something that was a side of the thing? It's akin to the thing. For instance, maybe you're a musician, but you're working in the area of editing, producing, developing, promoting, advertising, all of this kind of stuff. That's not particularly your field. Or that's not particularly where you're supposed to be at. But you know how to do it, so because it comes easier for you to write the blog posts, comes easier to you to create the podcast, comes easier to you to coach in this area, comes easier to you to develop your presence elsewhere, but not to work on your actual creative talent in that area. Are you, Ruth, not in your field? Let's talk about it. For those of us that are seeking and waiting on our God-ordained spouse, could it be your God-ordained spouse ain't found you because you're not in the field yet? You're around the field. You're close to the field. But you're in the field about 2 fields over from your God-ordained spouse's field. So can you imagine what would happen if Boaz came out that day and Ruth wasn't standing in that field? She was 2 doors down at the other field. What could have happened to Ruth had she been in the wrong field? And for some of you, you might be chasing in the wrong field. You're akin to it. You're next to the field. You're in the field just over from the field that Boaz is standing in. But He's still not in the field. And Boaz is standing in his field looking around like, I feel like somebody's supposed to be here. But they're not here yet. I can't really do anything for them until they arrive. But oh, look, you over yonder, about 3 fields over. You ever seen them movies sometimes? I know you've seen them. Where the person will be looking for somebody. And they're standing here. But the camera pans around and the person that they're looking for is 2-3 feet or 3 yards that way. They're within adjacency to where they are, but they're not where they could see them or where they would think to look for them. So they're frustrated because they're looking around and they're kind of like, I know this person's supposed to be here. I told him to meet me here. But your address that you went to is 212 and he at 214. And he's standing there on his front porch looking like, I know somebody was supposed to meet me here. I'm looking at my watch. They're supposed to have already been here. And you standing over at, when the camera pans around, you're exactly adjacent at the other door. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning the camera is turned and you're sitting there frustrated because you're like, I know that they said 212, but is your field adjacent to the one that you're supposed to be in that Boaz is supposed to meet you at? Oh. Ooh. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you understanding what I'm saying? You're just adjacent. You're not that far off. You're close. Let's stay in this music range. Let's say you got an ex-spousal relation music. You do a podcast, and your podcast got music on it, but I mean, that's not the field. And he's not coming over to your field. You got to come to him. Boaz wasn't looking outside of his own field when he saw Ruth. He was standing in his field. Now, podcasting is adjacent because music is played on podcasts. It's adjacent. But it's still not music. You're a fashion designer. Entertainers need clothing, right? But that's still not entertainment. I mean, yeah, you dress them. That's the adjacent field to it. But, yeah, you style. You put the clothes on them. But they ain't looking for you over there. They ain't looking for you over there. They're looking for you in their field. And you know you're supposed to be there. Come on. Come on, my people. You know who you got to call in, and God's going to tell you, I got this calling, and I know that you're supposed to be in that field, and you know you're supposed to be in that field. Why are you over in that one? And some of y'all be sitting up there like, well, I'm over here because, you did, and but did he? Did he really? It's not to say that he didn't call you to do this thing. That was the season that you were in. But it's very interestingly enough, I was listening to my coach this morning and she was saying, you need to move. I said, move. Maybe it's not so much a move. Maybe it's a placement. Spiritually speaking, moving towards the thing that I'm called to really be putting my hands to. See, I keep seeing this particular person over and over again, and I'm saying, like, why do you keep putting this person in front of me? And every time I see this particular person, I get chills. And I'm like, why you keep putting this person in front of me? Matter of fact, every time I see this person, I have a tendency to want to go in the opposite direction. It's just me being real. But guess what? Failed. Remember when Ruth went to Boaz's field? What is the first sentence that comes before that? It's a statement, right? That the women were telling Boaz that, oh, you don't want to deal with her because she's that Moabitess that just came with Naomi. But they knew she was en route. They knew she was there. They knew she was coming. Some of y'all, you got a dang spouse. They've been people. And let's even put it this way. I heard Trust and Obedience Imagine Ministry say this, and it makes absolute perfect sense. Some of you, because of the impact that you have, and because of what you are doing, people have heard what you've been talking about. People have even been peeping you out. And your Latter-day spouse started looking for you because of the fact that he done heard something in relation to what it was that you was doing. But you still ain't in his field yet. You're not in his field yet. But he's right around there and he's heard. But it's something you haven't quite done yet. Or maybe it's something you haven't accepted yet. That is preventing you from fully walking into the fullness of your marriage and the field. Because your field of favor is with your God-ordained spouse, right? But because you're not going to the field, even to glean, you're missing it. I stopped gleaning in the area of my God-ordained spouse. I'm going to be honest with you. I stopped. Because it was easier for me to work on the business part. It's easier for me to work on the podcast part. It's easier for me to work on the other part. It's easier for me to work on the coaching part. It's easier for me to work on the ministry part. It's easier for me. Because where I'm at, that's where I'm at. But the field I'm supposed to be at is adjacent to my God-ordained spouses. And I'm going to be honest with you as to why I didn't feel like I wanted to go in that direction. Because when that relationship comes to be, I never wanted him to feel like the reason I was there was because I wanted something from him. Point blank, period. So I stay over here. I work over here. Don't mean I don't think about it. Don't mean that I don't write in relation to it. But I actually have found myself having been at a loss for inspiration to even write. Because of the fact that maybe, just maybe, I'm in the adjacent field to where I'm supposed to be. And Boaz ain't found me yet. And your Boaz, some of them may not have found you yet because you're in the wrong field. And you're wondering because you ain't getting favor in that field. And I'm going to bring back the scripture that the Lord brought to me in relation to this the other day. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Matthew 7:27. Say that the rain fell and the torrents raged and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash. Let me see. Is that what I wanted? Let me go back to the scripture. I need the context. Maybe it's 7:26. Matthew 7. Reread full chapter. Because that wasn't the verse. Maybe it's only 6 that I need. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them to practice are like foolish men who build their house on sand. Some of us have been working in fields that we did not have favor in because we were in the wrong field and trying to figure out why in the world everything keeps falling down like sinking sand. Because you're in the wrong field. You're not in the field that you should have been. You were supposed to be over there. And Boaz sitting over there looking, he's sitting in the field like, I know somebody's supposed to be here. I don't know. I was hearing it. I know. But they ain't here yet. And remember how I said, you in the adjacent field. You in the associated field. You're close by, but you're not there yet. Because there's something in you. Let's just talk about it. There's something in you that's afraid that if you go into that field, whether it be something in relation to them, or is it something in relation to you, and 9 times out of 10 is you, that is fearful that if you move over there, you no longer have any control anymore. Some of you, the thing that you've been working on, you have full control over, you have full understanding of, you can build that, you can develop that, you can operate in that. Ooh, I got that. But the other thing, and that also would mean that you have to submit to the authority of your spouse because of the fact that you don't know what you're doing over there. Not really. You understand the industry, you understand the elements of it, but there's a certain amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost as if you would, you really would have to be on your P's and Q's following this man if you went into that arena. Yeah. And you good. You got everything in control in this arena. But that one, if you move over there, there's vipers and there's snakes over there. There's a pit. And actually, there's a Goliath standing over there waiting because that person is waiting to get between you and this person. Let's talk about it. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you what 9 times out of 10 it is. The Goliath that's between you and your spouse is that counterfeit. Now, they done moved the counterfeit, but it's still a vanquishing that needed to happen, whether it was on their part or the fact of your positioning, because when you move into the arena you're supposed to be in, what does it say in the word? God will pull down one and raise up another. If you're still over in the wrong field, how's he going to raise and exalt you to the position you're supposed to be, which automatically pulls out? Vashti couldn't no longer be there because Esther was there. She couldn't be there when Esther was there. So she got pulled out. For those of y'all waiting on the counterfeit, they done moved already. Some of y'all, the counterfeit been gone for a while. And God's saying, you've been wondering where he's at. He's been wondering where you at. Because you're still in the wrong field. Lord showed me in a vision a while ago. Long time ago. Move over there, and that's going to go down. I was like, oh, okay. Are you in the wrong field? Maybe it's the simple fact, I hear Tiffany Montgomery say this all the time. It wasn't so much that David and the troops had to fight. It wasn't so much that when the men in that other story, they dug up all those trenches. It wasn't so much they needed to fight, they just needed to do the work that needed to be done. Some of y'all already done dug the trenches. God's like, I'm going to pour the water, but you need to be in the right position to receive it. You understand what I'm saying? Are you in the right position to receive? Are you putting your energy in the wrong area? Are you building the wrong thing? Or is it that the fact that you're still building and you may be building in the right area at the wrong time? Maybe your focus needs to be heading more than the direction of where you're aligned to be for your field of favor with your God ordained spouse than over here, because this is what you know. A lot of people get caught up in, this is what I know, this is what I'm comfortable with, I'm going to stay right over here. I know how to make websites. I know how to build this. I know how to develop that. I know how to put together the web episodes. I do that in my sleep. But maybe your God ordained spouses feel that you're called to and you know it. It's not that easy for you to just do and complete and to finish and develop. It's not that easy, is it? That's why he's supposed to cover you when you get there, right? That's why he's supposed to get you in alignment. Some of y'all be sitting up there thinking that witchcraft is following you, and it's like, no. Even God's in there telling you, no, that's not the case no more. It's just you need to move to where you're supposed to be. You ain't in the right place. I done cleared the pathway. I just need you to show up. You ain't shown up yet. A lot of you been sitting there like, well, I do, but I mean, you should show up. I mean, and God's like, oh, that's taken care of. I just need you to walk over there. Could you walk over there? Coach says to me, you need to move. I said, move. It's a mental posture and positioning that needs to be done in order for me to get to where it is I'm supposed to be. And I think I've discovered what it is. When I mentally put my position, and I'm sharing it with you, when you mentally put yourself in the spiritual position that you're supposed to be, the thing gonna show up. You know how I know? I'm gonna tell you this. This happened to me today. While I was sitting in there working on the work that I was working on, somebody's phone, one particular individual's phone in the other room, kept going off. And you know what the ringtone was? Wedding bells. I was doing an edit to something on my phone while I was listening to a course that I was working on today in relation to what it was I was developing. And a sentence was highlighted in an advertisement that said, to husband something, something, something. I forgot what it was. But I'm sitting there like, maybe you're close. Let's repeat that. You're in the vicinity of the field of your God-ordained spouse. Your husband's nearby. You just not quite in the right place. He will favor you, but you got to move over there. So I'm going to need for you to sit down. I'm going to need you to breathe in and out. I'm going to need you to get in the presence of the Lord and find out, what is it that I need to do in order to get into the right field so that I'm positioning myself? It's not so much that you need to change careers, change this, change that. My coach said something very important the other day. It's accepting. When you accept that that's where you're supposed to be, having a mental shift, that's when all things will line up. And maybe what you really need to do is come into agreement and decrement that I now understand that this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to go. This is how I'm supposed to operate. And that's where I need to be. And I need to focus my energy on positioning myself on what it was that the Lord needed me to do in relation to going into that field, not the one that I thought I needed to go into, the field that God said. And then you will see the manifestation of what it is that you're called to walk into. scary over there. That's why God's positioning you with your God and spouse. Your spouse is going to help you walk through that experience. That's why he's there. How can two walk together unless they what? Agree. You're going to be in agreement. Doesn't mean that they're not going through anything. It doesn't mean that they're not dealing with certain things. But in some of the stuff that they're going through, let's just be honest, the devil is so definitely afraid of you coming into the industry that you're called to walk in. He attacking your husband double time because it's like, if I can keep him away from her, this is why we got to pray for them. This is why we got to cover them. This is why. And because of the way that they've been getting beat, they are looking for you. They're like, where is she at? Oh my God. Is it going to get better where she at then? And you still over there. I'm going to need you to move. Move and move now. So, I hope this blessed you. I hope you're getting an understanding. And I hope you take this back to the Lord and find out for certain if you're in the wrong or the right field. And if you're supposed to be going into a different field, I'm going to need for you to get clarity from the Lord in some time and some space how he would like you to execute that process. Because I guarantee you, because if you're going in the direction that you should be, then God going to open that door. And you're going to see some things that need to separate from you, move. And you're going to see the person that's supposed to come in and position themselves with you to get in alignment. So, I hope this blessed you. This is Taj McCameron. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Bye-bye.